Yo, what's up? Yo, we ain't struggling with the mute button today. We getting it right today, y'all. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? It's your boy JD, aka Mr. December, and we are back again for another live stream, y'all. I need y'all to do me a really big favor. First, I need y'all to like the video. Secondly, I need you to share the video, right? Need y'all to share the video if you're getting any value out of this, because I guarantee you, if you're getting value out of it, other people will too. Then I need y'all to comment on the video. I need y'all to comment, get the engagement up, and if you're watching on the replay, salutations to you. We want to hear your comments as well. We got a great show lined up for y'all. Really great show. We're gonna get into it. But I gotta bring up some friends of mine, y'all. I gotta bring up some friends of mine. Let's see. We got the Alabama church girl in the building. Say something to the people, Val.
Beep, beep, toot, toot. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to all the leaders, saints, and friends. Welcome on in. It's time for a good time. Make sure you text your neighbor and say, get on in here, girl. You don't want to miss this.
You don't want to miss this. Get your neighbor, share the video. Everybody needs to be watching this live stream tonight, y'all. And then we got another good friend of mine in the building, as per usual. I want y'all to say what's up to Antoinette, y'all. Say something to the people, Antoinette.
Hey y'all, greetings. It's a pleasure to be back. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let's get this on and popping because tonight until tonight, it's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
it's gonna be great. We getting into it tonight, y'all. So listen, a lot of people might not know. I know y'all looking at the title and looking at the thumbnail, and y'all are wondering, what does this mean? Some of y'all might know, some of y'all might not know. Okay, but we're gonna break it down to y'all tonight. You feel me? We're gonna break it down to you tonight. So we are talking about MGTOW and divestors, y'all. This is deep. And I want to ask the ladies on the panel tonight, first of all, have you all ever heard of MGTOW and divestors? Antoinette had not heard about it until I sent her the topics. So I had to kind of put it up on game a little bit. Alabama Church Girl, what about you?
I had heard of divestors, but I had not heard of MGTOW. I had to Google it.
Mm-hmm. You had to Google it. Well, we're gonna get into it today, y'all. We are talking about MGTOW versus divestors. Shout out to L Nixon in the building. Thank you so much for joining us, man. We're gonna get into it tonight, man. I'm glad you're here. So, MGTOW, it stands for those who don't know. MGTOW stands for men going their own way. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Wikipedia, and we're gonna look at what Wikipedia has to say about MGTOW. Okay. Let me bring this up on the screen real quick. Men going their own way. Thank you so much, L Nixon in the building. Men going their own way. Okay. So this is what Wikipedia has to say about it. And I want y'all to engage and let me know what y'all think about this, because this is serious. MGTOW and divestors, this is serious business in our community. Okay, so MGTOW is a mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from women and from a society that they believe has been corrupted by feminism. Okay, the community is part of the manosphere. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but we'll get into the manosphere a little bit tonight too. A collection of anti-feminist websites and online communities that also include the men's rights movement, incels, and pickup artists. Like other manosphere communities, MGTOW overlaps with the alt-right and white supremacist movements, and it has been implicated in online harassment of women. Okay, so I want to know. I want to start with Alabama church girl first.
Why
What
you
did you?
do me like this, JD?
I don't know. I just picked one of y'all. I want to hear your thoughts on it first, and then we're gonna get into it deeper. What do you think about it?
All right, JD. I'm the Alabama church girl, and all that I know and I'm well versed in is church. That ain't all I know, but I'm very well versed in church. And I will have to say, it does not surprise me that Wikipedia states that it aligns itself with white supremacy. It does
Right?
not it does not surprise me.
Uh
Um Based on the history of Christianity and evangelicalism, it does not surprise me that
huh.
this movement, men separating themselves from women, does that sound like God?
No.
It sounds to me, I mean, it sounds totally opposite. But Christ versus Constantine is something real serious. Y'all get into it. Read, study to show thyself approved. That there's a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof is death. And honestly, what I see is people thinking so much so that they are not doing any good or any justice to themselves. What does it say what does it sound like, just on a surface level? Let's not even get deep yet, because we can go deep. But what does it sound like on a surface level? Men separating themselves from women. That sounds like stupidity to me.
It does. It does. It
It,
does.
it sounds
But
like you're going totally opposite against the grain of nature. Because when, all right, I'm sorry for those who don't agree with the in the beginning story, but I do. So this is where I'm gonna speak from. Okay, in the beginning there was an Adam who saw all these creatures around him and said, God, you ain't make none of these folk for me. I need somebody that's gonna touch my soul. And God dug deep within and found him and made him a woman. And Adam said, oh my God, whoa, man, she is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. This is what I was waiting for. And God blessed him with all that golden goodness. And now we get down here in 2022 and say we want to separate from each other. We came from each other. We were made specifically for each other. Why are we trying to separate? But it does not surprise me, like I said, because the good book with all that prophetic reading said that in the last days that there will be the love of men will wax cold. And that's what I'm seeing, is that these ideologies, these theories and all this that people are coming up with is basically the love of men waxing cold. We can't even love each other anymore like it was purpose for us to love. We can't even be together like it was purpose for us to be together. And it's sad, but hey, it was spoken of in the book.
you are absolutely right. Antoinette, what do you think? And then I'm gonna give my thoughts on it.
So when as I researched it, it was disturbing to me. I think it's disturbing, um, hands down, that you want to separate yourself from that which makes you whole and that which your mind, heart, and body desires. Because at the end of the day, you can only please you so much. And that's just on the physical, that's on the mental, that's on the spiritual, that's on all encompassing levels that you could possibly come across and create. Okay. To separate by yourself, I think they need a little bit more therapy than the therapy that we're trying to promote and support. I did not like it. I don't really support that group, that mentality, because, again, like Val was saying, we need each other um, at the end of the day because it's a collective unit in order for us to survive and persevere and continue on our legacies on this planet, period. What y'all gonna do by yourselves? Literally, what are you gonna do?
Well, actually, some of these fellas are actually doing a lot, but to me, I can't get
It's
down with
not gonna
all of.
last long.
It's not gonna last long. It's been a while. It's been around for a minute, and honestly, I can see why and how a lot of these men get to this space, because let's just be honest. Is it a
Thank
red
you.
flag, man? Is it a red flag?
Thank you. A couple
I
They're
of
not
them.
being fruitful and multiplying together.
No, absolutely not. But
Exactly.
we're gonna dig deeper into that in just a minute, because it's a two-sided coin to this thing. You know what I'm saying? But
They're in the
I
wrong
see.
pool.
You think so? A lot of people might be, but this is where a lot of people in our community is going. And I find it problematic, because instead of us separating, we need to be getting together. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of men have been burned by women in the past. And I'm not talking about just a heartbreak or just a regular breakup. I'm talking about, like, definitely. Hey, shout out to the chat. Y'all are coming through tonight. I really appreciate y'all.
Yes.
But yeah, not just being burned, but the way that modern dating is, and the way that a lot of modern women are thinking, right? Because let's just be honest. In 2021, a big portion of the female population only wants a small percentage of the men, right? So roughly 80 to 90% of the women want the top 10 or 1% men, right? But what about those other 90% men that's getting overlooked? That's at the bottom, that's not good enough, right?
They're
And a
getting
lot,
love too.
say again,
They're getting love too.
a lot of them are not. Let me give you an interesting statistic. Now, we're going to be real tonight, right? Because we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Did you know that in 2009, the percentage of men that were virgins in America was 7%? In 2021, does anybody want to guess what the number is? Can anybody guess? 30%.
Now, are these
30%.
born again virgins or
No.
These are
These,
18-year-olds.
these are what you're calling incels, right? Involuntarily celibate. Y'all, this is a thing. This is real.
wait a minute?
Involuntarily celibate.
Starting at what age?
What age do people start having sex? Usually.
Are we
Well,
literally starting from way back? Okay, all right. Because I'm
I
just trying to
mean,
clarifying questions. Trying to
yeah.
clarify.
Bayou Bunny, she with me. I mean, come on. Yes, really. I'm putting y'all up on game. Incels are men that are involuntarily celibate. Women are having more sex these days than men.
but who are
And
they
They
having
supposed
sex
to.
with?
who? The men or the women?
The women.
They're having sex with a certain percentage of men. And did you know that a big percentage of black children being born are born by a lot of the same men? A
Baby,
lot of men are not.
Nick Cannon is not giving everybody in America a baby.
Oh. And
I
look,
know,
pray for
I
his
know he is
family.
Wait a
really
minute.
trying to populate the Americas.
What, Antionette? Why you go? Oh, why you do that?
Well, because I was talking about him literally just a few minutes ago. Now we do have to pray for his family because one of his little babies had passed just recently too.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know, but no, he's not populating the world, although we want him to populate. But I digress.
But yeah. And if y'all don't think that this is a real thing, check out the statistics. Check it out. from the age of 18 to, whatever, 30% of men are incels, virgins, celibate. Because in this day of social media, and I want y'all to put it down in the comments if y'all agree with me. Social media has given people a broader access to people just outside of their geographical area, right? So it's nothing for the pretty girl from Georgia, Alabama to get flued out to LA. You know what I'm saying? If she put flew it out. If you
Yes.
put the right the right booty shots or whatever on IG,
Pretty much.
it's easy. It's easy to get flued out. It's easy to get flued out, and it's because I think it has a lot to do with the lifestyle that a lot of people want to live. Right? If you
Thank you,
ask,
Kayla.
we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. I promise you, we're gonna get into it. So
These statistics, I'm
Right.
sorry, JD, I have to consider the source. Because
Yeah.
people can
we
bring up statistics to prove whatever point they want to prove. But when I'm looking at folk from day to day, and I know plenty of women who just want a piece of man, they don't care if it's your man, her man, my man is your man, it's
Ooh.
our man. We just want to take a piece of
Speak
them on the
it.
weekend. So it's not just the same.
a piece of a man, though. A piece of a
Yes.
man.
Because you only need the piece from the head up or the waist down.
Yeah. And then on
My
top of
lord.
that, JD, I don't care what you say. All women love the BBC. All women. It doesn't matter. All women love the BBC. Did you not see why Nick Cannon went viral this week?
So,
Why he's trending?
What? So are you just speaking of women that are hetero?
Yes.
Okay. I can
And I
dig
don't
that.
care what race, what color, what creed, what age. All women that are hetero, let's make that distinction, love the BBC. And some of those that are homo love to look at it.
My lord.
And are shocked by it.
Well,
and are intrigued by it. So I don't know where you're getting these statistics from,
but
I will have some pushback on it because I know for sure, even if they don't want you for partnership, they want that BBC.
yes, they do.
You think so?
I'm sure.
So?
I am definitely sure.
Them waters when they run dry.
Well, listen.
Call it spade a spade.
I'm gonna drop the link again. I dropped the link in the chat earlier, and I'm gonna drop it again. And we got somebody that wanted to come up, and I'm gonna get to you in just a second. And thank you so much for coming up. I'm gonna drop the link again if anybody else wants to join the conversation. But I wanted to address this comment on the screen right now from Miss Gabrielle White. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for your big support. Thank you so much. So she says to the speakers on stage, what do you think about people saying men are to have multiple women? That is biblical. What do y'all got to say about that? And I'm gonna let y'all go first, and then I'm gonna come back with what I think about it.
You want to do it,
Antionette?
or you...
Antionette?
Listen, I don't share too well. Okay, so first off, second, like I've shared with my family up here, I haven't read the Bible, so I couldn't tell you. Now, if there's a lesson from it, I could tell you that. However, multiple women at the same time, multiple men at the same time. If you are married, then absolutely not. But if you are dating, do as you wish, so you can find the one that makes you happy in more ways than one. But to have multiple partners at the same time, I'm not sharing. I'm not doing the sister wives. I'm not doing the girlfriends. Hey, how you doing? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to have a good day from work, school, or life. And I'm not going to want to be bothered with the other women. So this is just not going to work. Not around Antionette's world.
Okay, Alabama Church Girl, what you think?
Okay, JD. So my spirituality and my spiritual practices are a little bit different. So and my thinking is different. So I know that traditionally we have been taught to be monogamous. I will say to her question, I think her name was White, her last name was White, Miss White. Yes, there are some demonstrations of polygamy in the Bible. So when people say that it's biblical, yes, you will find that represented in the Bible if you really study. Now, what you choose to practice is between you and the partners that you choose to practice with. And I won't put any parameters. I've always said that from the inception of this show, that I personally can't put any parameters on how you choose to partner and what you choose as the stipulations of your partnership. That's between you and your partner. And I think that every couple should operate in that manner, that what we do in our house is what we do, but it doesn't have to define what everybody else does.
Mm, okay, I can dig that. Now, here's the thing about I guess you would call it polygamy, right? Um, a lot of people would make the argument that we were never meant to be monogamous, or men were never meant to be monogamous. The reason that I say that, and for a short answer, yes, is biblical, but is because the Bible talks about it. I believe we mentioned Jacob and Rachel and Leah, right? He had multiple wives. David had multiple wives in the Bible. That
Solomon.
was Solomon had multiple wives. Look at what Abraham, and Abraham, uh, his wife gave him her servant.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So in that aspect, it is biblical. Now, I will say that some things in the Bible are not right. Okay, meaning that David had had another woman's husband killed, had a baby by her, right? That's in the Bible. It's biblical because it's in the Bible, but that don't make it right.
Right.
That don't make it right just because it's in the Bible. But a lot of people will argue that monogamy, we were never meant to be monogamous simply because of the biological fact that women can only carry one child at a time, or one pregnancy at a time. You can carry multiple children at a time, but only one pregnancy at a time, while men can actually have multiple women pregnant at one time. So that's why a lot of people say that we were never meant to be monogamous, and I think that's what Nick Cannon's on, or whatever. But go ahead, Alabama Church Girl.
So we are aware though also that different cultures have used monogamy for basically population control,
Mm-hmm.
and they have used that one woman to, or one man to multiple women, basically either to increase the population, or some cultures it's one woman to multiple men for population control, because just like you just stated, that woman can only be pregnant by one man at a time. So we're gonna give her all these husbands so we can control the population, because we're getting out of control here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you mean if you really study different cultures, you'll see why that is in different areas. Um, uh, I think your Asian population over in that region that's more popular that the woman has multiple husbands. But I mean it's based on culture. And that's why we cannot I will never say, that it has to be one particular way. That's not my place to judge. Who are me to judge? In the words of Andrew Caldwell.
Oh, let's not get on that guy.
And it's based on time and understanding because, like Val said, if you read and you understand what the purpose of polygamy and monogamy is, even if we just go back 400 years in America, you had that one buck that they had out to every plantation in order to have strong offspring. So, it depends on which topic and which way we're applying this polygamy, monogamy, and in what sector we want to look this into. But that does not mean that the content is supporting polygamy and being monogamous, etc. Like Val said, it's the perimeters of it all and which way we're trying to understand its message and then which path we're trying to apply that to.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. All right. My man L. Nixon says, I could be no brother husband. I feel you. That's not for me. Whatever y'all want to do over there, that's fine. But I'm not about to. I need a woman, right? I'm not going my own way away from women at all. I can't do it. Yes, he said brother husband. Sister wives, brother husband, right? But I wanna bring my man Aunt T up for just a second and let him give his thoughts. Aunt T, what's up, man? You in the building?
Good evening, JD. Y'all can hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good evening.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me up. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
So what did the topic shift to? Because when I clicked the link, we were on MGTOW, and then now I see we're on monogamy and polygamy.
Yeah. With the main topics we're talking about is MGTOW versus divestors. Now, and I think this is your first time joining us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, first of all. Second of all, the conversation gets deep over here. So sometimes we go off into, some little rabbit holes, but it's all good. But what do you have on the topic about
Okay.
MGTOW right now?
Yeah, no, hey, I know how it works on panels. But yeah, I mean, as far as MGTOW is concerned, I kind of found these spaces talking to a lot of men that were doing the whole MGTOW thing. So most of them still date women, still enjoy the company of women and all of that. It was more of a men going their own way and a separation of societal norms because they feel as though the system and society kind of has a war against men and masculinity as far as, the child support system and divorce court and just the fact that it's, men are kind of at a disadvantage in Western relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that men just don't get me wrong. There are men that just don't want to deal with women at all. But just like I heard you say earlier, those are incels. Those are involuntary celibate, usually involuntarily celibate men that just can't get with women.
And, like I was saying earlier, even though I can't really subscribe to it, but I understand how a lot of men get to the point that they are wanting to go their own way, just work on themselves, isolate from women, and not even have to worry about it. Because let's just be honest. What was one of the popular tropes from back in the day? I could do bad all by myself. Y'all don't like to believe it, but a lot of men are catching it out here in these streets trying to deal with women in modern dating these days. That's why, like, I always bring it up. Like, when a man meets a woman that's feminine and nice to him and just kind and has that spirit, that kind spirit about her, a man will absolutely go extremely hard for those types of women because those women are absolutely hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? And then, I
Absolutely.
mean, in the dating scene, a man is expected to pay for everything, pay for the dates, pay bills, do all of this stuff, but it's hard. It's like pulling teeth to ask a lady not even to yell at a man. You know, I was watching uh, KS, The Godfather, a while back, and he had a lady on there that said that she doesn't feel like she even owes black men a smile. Had another one on there that the same show that said that women have gotten to a point now to they're doing so well. Why would they want to get with a black man? Because they don't need them. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna try to find that clip and bring it up. But ladies, Alabama church girl, let's start with you. Come on with it. Y'all got a lot of stuff to say tonight. I told y'all it was gonna be good. I told y'all it was gonna be good. Go ahead and like the video and share the video. Let's get everybody in on this discussion. Go ahead, Alabama church girl.
So I hear you saying, and I believe that you're telling the truth when you say that men are catching hell in relationships with some women. JD, I have been through a lot of trauma with men, but I ain't never felt like I'm gonna give up on a man. I gave up on that one, but baby, you gonna know that Valerie is always gonna have one. In fact, even when he started acting up, it was about 4 more lined up and cut, waiting to take his place. So it's just not gonna ever be that place where I'm just gonna totally give up on the opposite sex. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not going to happen. You hear me, Zach? You understand what I'm saying? Uh, and I honestly believe that you are being sincere when you say men are catching some hell. Because to be able to say, right, Gabrielle, that she
Not
doesn't
even a
even deserve a
smile.
smile, that's rough. That's rough. And I do hear those women that talk like that. And I think they sound crazy. I really, excuse me for judging, but it sounds crazy to me because everybody deserves a smile. Smile is the universal language. Smiles and music are the universal language around the world, no matter what. I mean, it's just crazy. But some people get into that box of I can, like you said, can do bad all by myself. I don't need nobody. I'm the strong black woman. I'm not that. Don't ever look to Valerie to be the strong black woman. Don't look to me to be no super saver hero. I'm not a superwoman. I'm not. I'm fragile like a flower. I need you to handle me delicately. I'm going to treat you accordingly. Okay? And when you get out of the box, I'm going to keep moving on. And that's just the way I see things. That's the way I want to handle things. It's my job to control my peace in my atmosphere. And I think that, that goes for all people, regardless of whether it's a woman or a man. So I understand when you say there are some men that are choosing to protect their peace. But I think going to say that I just won't deal with the opposite sex at all, that's a bit extreme. And extremism doesn't fare well for the community.
I agree. I agree. And I like what Gabrielle has on the screen right now. Prayers for healing. That's really, really and the pain in our community that people are experiencing. You know, we advocate all the time here for therapy. And a lot of times in our community, people have been dealing with trauma and have not even realized what kind of trauma that they're dealing with. And then sometimes even some of the men that are in this MGTOW movement, I mean, they need some therapy too. And then we're gonna get to the divestors in just a little bit, y'all. They definitely need some therapy. They definitely need some therapy. Gabrielle says, "I agree. You got to heal from your past hurts. It's not every man. Absolutely." Antoinette, it's on you.
All right, so I was making my little notes, but hurt people, like we've always been saying. So with the modern dating, that smile, I don't know you a smile. I'm a smile. I'm a smile at you, and we gonna smile together, and you gonna take this hint, and I'm gonna wink at. I'm gonna do that little wink. Okay, you gonna take this hint, and you gonna take this smile, and you gonna take this good morning, hey, how you doing, and keep it moving. Oh, what cologne is that? What you got on? Yeah. Yes, I do owe you that. Why? Because it's a common courtesy. Why? Because everybody, you don't know what anybody is going through. I don't care if you're trying to get somebody out on a date or whatever. Everybody is owed some type of common courtesy, regardless of what you're going through. You don't know what the next person is going through, and that can save a life. Back on that therapy hit, start to that. Now, when you said that men don't ask us to yell at them, okay, who in the world is making a point to yell at y'all? Why?
Whoa,
For
whoa,
what?
whoa, 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 whoa. I gotta stop you right there. I gotta stop you right there because I have dealt with women in the past that they don't know how to do anything else but yell.
But we've
And it,
talked about that, JB.
mm-hmm,
That's called effective communication, and that woman is not ready for a relationship, so she needs to keep it moving and cut it. You need to cut it. Don't they have a song called "You Need to Cut It"?
mm-hmm,
Cut it, because
yeah,
now
Price
we
is
talking.
way
We
too
getting
high.
way too high now. Them
mm-hmm,
octaves, you better bring it down or get chopped in the throat. It's one or the other. And we're going to learn and we're going to walk this path together. But it's about effective communication. And because they are hurt, they are unable to receive the fact that somebody is trying to show them love and affection in order to communicate in a way that does not is not being received um, ignorantly and disrespectfully. You
mm-hmm.
have to calm it down all the time. You can't bring that type of energy into the house. Now, also with the dating world, why we sometimes get a little bit off, because when we're dating, some of us have been accustomed to the men opening doors, walking on the right side when we on the sidewalk, because that way y'all get hit before, if a car goes off. I don't know what couples walk anymore. I know I do. But if you walking down the streets and stuff, the man walks on the side that's closest to the road, because if a car veer off, they get hit first. Okay, that's something that y'all used to do. Pumping gas make me want to lean on you. I could pump my gas. Yeah, I got two hands. Even if I didn't have two hands, I'd pump it with my foot, whatever. But at the end of the day, make me want to lean on you. Make me want to be that feminine person to where, baby, I can't pump no gas. My hands gonna be smelling crazy, and then I just got my nails done. What you talking about? We both gonna sit here until you get out this car and pump this gas. Make me lean on you for them little things. And like I'm a church girl was saying, strong women, right? Okay, independent women, that's fine and all, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be strong and you're going to um, be my support system. We're going to be strong together, and we're going to apply pressure to the world, not to each other. There's a difference. We're going to do this together as a unit in strength with our numbers as one, but not against each other.
Okay, I can dig it. I
That
got
was the
some.
word.
It was. I got some thoughts about that, but I want to go to my man Ant. Man, you got any thoughts? What you got to say,
Yeah.
man?
No, I just wanted to comment on the whole smile thing. I was told a long time ago when I was young, that is the look. You can fake an orgasm. You can even fake a friendship, but you can't fake a smile. It's like the toughest thing to fake. So if your smile is not going to be genuine, keep it to yourself. I don't need it. That's just the way I feel. So the dudes that want to complain that she doesn't smile or any of that stuff, she can keep it if she doesn't want to. What they say, it takes more energy and more muscles in your face to frown than it does to smile anyway. So go ahead. I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care about that.
Yeah.
I've always said in these spaces, everybody's heard me say it, the roles of men and women are supposed to be complementary, not combative. So, I've even been, in relationships and dates where there are some women that are on their independent thing, and it's just to the point where they hear the bass in my voice, and then all of a sudden they feel as though they have to combat that with being loud or yelling, and that makes me feel uncomfortable because that's a failed attempt at masculinity, which is always going to be a failed attempt at masculinity when she tries to do it. The masculine and the feminine are supposed to balance each other. So all that's going to do is make both parties uncomfortable. So I get that as far as, the yelling and stuff. Men just want their peace. That's it. And I can only speak from, the standpoint of a man. That's it. I can't speak for women. But me, that's all I want to do is come home to peace. Because it was peaceful without you. So why would I want to come home to chaos and confusion?
There it is.
Doesn't make any sense.
We got all these preachers on the line tonight.
There it is. There it is right there. And that's why a lot of men are going their own way, because they rather have peace by themselves and not deal with the extra than to have to be combative with the lady. And I think it where we come from, I think it's a lot different. And I don't know what area of the country you're in, but all three of us, we're in the South. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the South.
You in the South too?
Yeah.
So you might see a little bit more of that Southern hospitality like we do. But just the other day, and y'all, this is no cap. I've honestly gotten to the point to where if I'm out in the store, I don't really make it a point to speak to people, women in particular, unless I see that they're older. You know what I'm saying? Over this last weekend, SEC championship, I probably spoke to more people just out and about than there, because everybody was, hype about the game or whatever. But it's only the older black women that are, hey, how you doing? And it was an older lady. We were walking back to our car together, and we had a whole conversation about what Alabama was going to do at the game. But then I just spoke about, I saw that look at Jeanette. You saw the game, but and just
I
walking.
did not.
You should have if you didn't. But roll tide. But
I
just
can't stand y'all.
it's just in my nature. That Southern hospitality, that chivalry. How I was raised to just speak with somebody, especially if you see them looking at you and you look at them. Hey, how you doing? Like, a lot of women would turn their nose up at me and scoff or whatever. I'll be like, okay, well, forget you too. So I've gotten to the point to where I don't even speak anymore, unless it's an older gentleman, an older lady. Gabrielle said Mean Mud Capital. She in New York. Yeah, definitely. But I think that we've gotten to a point now to where, like Ant said, men would rather just have their peace. You can go do what you can yell, you can fuss, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're going to do it over there by yourself. You're not going to come over here and disturb my peace. You understand what I'm saying? And then, just to further my point even further, I've dated some ladies that literally, and this is no cap, literally argued about me and argued with me rather, and tried to take the gas pump out of my hand because she didn't want me to pump her gas. And I'm like, what I look like? Me, a well-bodied, able man, sitting here with a woman, and I'm letting her pump gas. Those are not the kind of men we deal with over here. You know what I'm saying? Those type of men over, we over here. You know what I'm saying? But it was literally an ordeal for me to pump the gas. I can pump my own gas. I don't need you to pump my gas. What? My bad. Forgive me for trying to be or being one of the men that you ladies say that you want. Go ahead, pump your gas. I'm not gonna argue with you. But y'all, I found the video. Y'all ready? Let me take this off real quick. Remove that. Y'all ready? I found the video, y'all. Check this out.
Are black women our women?
Yeah.
We can't make a demand. We can't even ask you to smile. But you want us to protect you.
Mm. Mm.
Are you
Yeah,
all with it?
no.
What do you think? What do you say?
Listen.
No. Before you answer this question, by the way you see the ethnic image of black women acting towards black men, are black women our women? Not aspirationally, by the results, by what you see.
Not aspirationally by what I see. Um, not aspirationally. I feel like yes, we definitely we
No, I asked you what you see, what you feel. Ma'am, are you going to actually tell me by what you see, black women act like they belong to black men?
they, we you know we need a lot of mentoring,
Yes
and
or
so
It was a lot of beatboxing going on.
no, no,
I'm
no,
gonna say
no. I see. You already starting to
okay.
beatboxing. See, subjective variable. See, when you ask a question, the boxers them in, they don't want to call, they don't want to hold sister to the task, so they're gonna start breakdancing. Yes or no, man? You're a professional, right? A healthcare professional, right?
I am.
Answer the question.
But
Answer the question as a professional. Yes or no?
do
Are
our
black
women
women?
look like they?
Black, you heard the question 3 times. Are black women ours?
I'm gonna say that's tough. That's tough because the answer is yes. The answer is yes. We belong to you. Like y'all. Yes, y'all are for us, and we are
Black
for
men,
you.
black men, black men. I want you
Truly.
to understand, black men. Hold on, man. Black men, I want you to understand how you felt when you saw her struggling to try to get this lie out of her mouth. That is the length they will go. That is, you go back to the no, ma'am. You go back to the comment section. Go to the time and date stand. Go there and look at what the black men say. I know what I felt here. I've
Oh my
asked you, and
God.
you, no, ma'am, because I know the question I'm asking, and the answer is I can objectively say no, you're not, and I can say it, but you don't want to admit what we can see. If you look at what the men are saying, they're saying no, but you're still trying to tell us, yeah, we are, and the men are like, well, what world are you seeing? It's like, y'all, and you're a professional. I'm like, answer it as a professional, and you're still gonna get to the point where like, well, yeah, then the men don't know what they're seeing.
So yes, we definitely belong to you, and we want to just improve those relationships. I feel like we just
You belong to
have
us.
a difficult
You
time.
belong to us. You belong to us. This is what you're saying. So if that's the case, then why would a black man
Yes.
ask a black woman to smile if she offended if you belong to us?
Now, I disagree with being offended, but I don't
Why does a
disagree
black
that
woman feel
sometimes we are
why
smiling.
do why okay offended whatever what why does she feel put upon? Why does she feel like it makes a demand of her if it's just a smile? And understand, a black woman who's a femininity influencer asked her femininity group who wants to be married to black men to just smile at every black man, and she was savage for months. You know this is common, man. If black women truly belong to black men as you say they do, why do black women feel put upon by simply being asked to smile at black men? And here's the problem. If we can't have real conversations with our women, because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Black men know you're lying. They know you're conflicted. Man, look in the comment section. The black men know you're not being honest. And black, I think honestly, I think black men want relationships with black women more than black women want relationships with black men. Because when asked this question, you're speaking aspirationally. Men are saying, no, you're not ours. And they can see you struggling. But you're gonna find a way to rejigger this to make it make sense. And men are saying, you are not ours. We can't even ask you to smile at us.
Okay. So, brothers, we love you. Let me just tell you, Jill Scott had a beautiful song. We need you. We do.
Before we get to that, we need truth.
Okay.
Can you honestly say that greater than 50% of the adult black females act and move as though they belong to black men?
No, and I'm going to answer. Can I rebuttal to that?
Go ahead.
I don't feel like the majority necessarily act like they belong to any man, though. So it's not like we're ditching them.
But there's only one.
And
But you can rebuttal that, man. But you're only supposed to belong to one.
Yes.
See, that's
Absolutely.
subjective variable bullshit. That's not an answer, man. Black men don't want to hear that we don't belong, because you don't expect every man to protect you. When somebody's going upside your head, you ain't asking Bradley, Ahmed, Enrique, protect us. You asking a black man to protect you.
You're right.
So we don't
You're
give a
absolutely
shit if you
right.
don't feel like you belong to anybody else. White women, do white women act like they belong to white men?
Yes.
Yes or no? Do Hispanic women act like they belong to Hispanic men?
Absolutely.
Do Asian women act like they belong to Asian men?
Definitely.
Do Middle Eastern women act like they belong to Middle Eastern men?
Yes.
Do black women act like they belong to black men?
By and large, no. But
See,
those,
the fact that you had to even put a modifier on there says you are still conflicted with the reality you are seeing. There was no modifier ever before black people. No.
Mute button got me again. Thoughts, anybody? Who wants to go first?
I can, if that's okay.
It's fine.
That about summed it up when he asked about all of those other races of men, and it was just a clear cut yes. But as soon as he mentioned black men, it was an explanation. You know, so I mean that is what it is, and I mean I get it. I don't necessarily blame black women for if they have that divesting mindset or whatever. They can do whatever, but when you're talking about a class of men that are at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole, I mean, why would you feel as though? Why would you even want to admit to belonging to that class of men? So I mean, I can understand that. If you don't want to be with a black man, you shouldn't have to, because I always say this. Look, I prefer black women. For the most part, I've dated black women, but I've also dated other races of women too. So if I choose to be with a white woman, Middle Eastern woman, Asian woman, Hispanic woman, nobody's going to tell me a damn thing about it. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead.
Alabama church girl?
I don't know where you came from, Auntie, but I hope you come back again.
He can come back anytime.
L. Nixon sent me.
Who?
Shout out to L. Nixon.
I am also reading Gabrielle's comment that you have pinned here. And something that I see is I didn't really care for the question, the way it was posed, because I don't belong to anyone. I am my own self. Now, do I want to be with black men? That's a different question. But I also agree with Auntie's philosophy. I have always dated black men. That's not all that I've dated, but I've always dated with the picture that I've always seen in my community are black couples together and black love. Even when it was black struggle love, that's all I saw. So that's all that I could picture for myself for the longest. So I've always dated black men with the expectation that that's probably who I'm going to end up with and make some beautiful chocolate babies. But that didn't end up being my story. And if we go back to the comment that you had of Gabrielle's prior to this one, that is why. Because I required a certain level of respect for me. I required a certain level of compatibility and reciprocity. And that's not what I got in return. So I decided I'm going to love the person that loves me like I want to be loved. And that just happened to be not to be a black man. It's not that I don't love black men, but like I said, I have to make sure that I protect my peace.
Okay, I can dig that, Antoinette.
So, um, I don't know. And watching that, I'm wondering, why is it always a tit for tat? You know, and when we're dealing with love and relationships, you know, go for what you know. What makes you comfortable? What protects you? And as he was talking, he was like, um, when we're getting beat upside our head or whatever, we're looking for that black man to protect us. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not going to be in a situation where any man, woman, child, boy, girl, dog, cat, whatever is going to be beating me upside the head to where I'm going to be seeking for protection of any man, woman, boy, child, dog, or cat. Okay. The point is that we should not be going tit for tat all the time. If a black man is what you want and you desire, a black woman, whatever, go for what makes you comfortable. But understand that when you find that person for you, you don't have to explain your struggle. You don't have to explain and have to tiptoe on eggshells if that person is made for you. Your wants and your desires, they will be met if that person is made for you. In the world that we're in right now, everybody is mixed with something. You can't sit up there and say you're not. Back in the day, before we were created, everybody was claiming that they had Indian in them. Okay. So, um, is my focal a black man? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I love my black man? Absolutely. Angie Stone, what she say, brother? Yeah, absolutely. India Irie? Absolutely. What does he have? He has that magic. I got that sparkle too. And when we put it together, boom, we got a whole show, all right, that made and created this entire cosmos. All right. So at the end of the day, it's always this tit for tat. We're not trying to do that. Whatever you're comfortable with, I'm comfortable with my black man. I'm comfortable with that being my shadow. I'm comfortable being with my protector. And that is what we call a spade is a spade. Now, if you choose to go to a different path, then that's on you. Just understand that you do not need to explain yourself. You don't have to have any expectations in the midst of uh a dark alley questioning, is this man gonna have my back because he's a black man, because he's a Hispanic man, because he's an Indian man, whatever. We have to represent each other and hold each other accountable.
That is very true. We do, and that's another topic. I don't think we're gonna get to it tonight, but I think Ant wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just can't come off mute. And I think what for the Kevin Samuels video, I think what he was trying to get at, I don't know if maybe he mentioned it later on in that clip. I didn't see the video originally, but it seems as though black men just have to do a little extra. And you'll probably touch on that when you get to the whole divesting thing. But they just have to do more than that white man or that man of another race is gonna have to do in order to have that respect. And I mean, I understand how it is, just the way society is kind of groomed just everybody. And the black men are just at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole. So it's not enough to just have a job in America. As a black man, you got to own the damn company. It's not enough to just be handsome. You got to be in great shape, be able to run the mile, and all of that other stuff too. So black men just have to, for the most part, be Superman. It's just not enough. Whereas that white man, when you talk about divesting, you'll probably get on it. All he's got to do is be white. That's it.
Yeah.
They'll take bottom shelf Brad, but they'll only take top shelf Tyrone.
That is, you got a point there. Ant has a point. He has a point. I'm gonna quit kicking this thing in a second. But
Now, I doubt that's the case for the ladies on the panel, but
yeah, I mean I mean the most of the ladies that we talk about, the issues, they're in a different category. They over here. These ladies on the panel, they over here. They a lot different. You know what I'm saying? They got great heads on their shoulder and they're great for our community. But I want to highlight this comment that L. Nixon put on the screen. He said, "We don't have enough respect between us like everyone else because we have abandoned the village mindset. Others still have the village mindset where they don't mind their business, they mind their community." That is absolutely right. I agree with that 100%. Because let me tell you a little story, and then we're gonna move on to the divestors. The time is running short, but I remember being at an outdoor festival or somewhere, and there was a lot of people that did not look like me and us on the panel, right? And I started to feel a type of way, I just didn't feel right. I felt a little tight, I was uncomfortable, but then I looked over and I seen another brother, and he was, few yards away, but y'all should have seen us. We were, moving people out the way to get to each other. You know what I'm saying? And then when we connect, oh man, I thought I was the only one. We felt better. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can't act like we don't feel comfortable around our own people. Even if it's a situation where me and Antionette are somewhere and it's just me and her, we're the only people of color there. It should be a sense of unity and likeness and familiarity between Antionette and I, right? But if I go up to Antionette and she don't even want to smile at me, you see what I'm saying? Y'all are not like that, but it's a lot of women that are, a lot of black women that are, unfortunately, right? And we're trying to get this community back. That's why it's important for us to have conversations like these, right? Because we need to rebuild our community and figure out what the disconnect is. Alabama Church Girl, go ahead.
I wanted to add to, before we move past the Kevin Samuels clip, something else that I noticed with that young lady he was speaking with. First of all, she was beautiful, chocolate, and a beautiful smile. Her skin was so pretty. But secondly, he mentioned that she was a medical professional. And I saw her struggle in the same way I saw the lawyer struggle speaking with the lead attorney. And the same way that I see some professional women in my own family struggle with processing their thought and being able to clearly articulate their thought. And it bothers me because if I feel like there is an issue of not just women in general, but even professional women struggling with their left brain and their right brain. We have been mass marketed and propagandized so much so that a lot of women are taking their talking points from these Black media outlets that are telling them why to be mad. We are so feminine, we are so strong, and this is why we should be mad. But then when someone begins to dig into that, you don't even know what to say, or why you mad and why you holding on to that, And I think that we need to rethink what we really want. And I have a problem with especially the lawyer, beautiful woman, and what she does as a craft is articulate thought. I had a problem with seeing her struggle to answer just basic questions about what she thinks out of her own will, out of her own mind. That's an issue. And it makes me consider, well, what are you considering? Why are you mad? Why are you holding on to these theories and these tropes about how we should act and how we should move and behave within our community? I have a problem with that, and I think that that's something that is worth looking into further. Like, what are we doing, ladies? I see a lot of times there's some specifically some all female media outlets that definitely put out a message every single week of something that we have to be upset about. This person said something and we got to be upset about it, ladies. That person said something and this is why, we should cancel this and we should cancel him and this and then the other. But are we really mad? Because honestly, my approach in dating, even though, I'm mad at one man, I'm gonna go back to men because I like men. And just because he made me mad doesn't mean that I have to cancel everybody else. At some point, my whole desire and pursuit was I'm gonna get to someone who is going to meet my wishes and my desires, and I'm gonna make him a very happy man. That was just, that was, and any time I felt myself or found myself in a position where men like to cheat, yes they do. But anytime and every time I found myself in a position where a man was cheating on me, guess what? I got finer. I got better. I upgraded my makeup. I upgraded my wardrobe, because what you won't do is cheat on me and forget what I look like. Honey, honey, you can have that, but you could have had this. That was my thought. And that was my, I'm gonna move on, but I'm gonna be happy with someone else. That's just the way I see it. Why can't we find more reasons to come together than hold on to all these talking points that keep us separated? That's an issue for me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on to the divestors. Um, you know, it's a situation to where, let me throw this out here. A lot of people are all talk but don't want to work. A while back, it was a clip that was going around with the Fox Soul ladies, Claudia Jordan, Vivica, Selena, and Lisa Ray, right? They were talking to Ice Cube, and Ice Cube is doing this thing at the White House, to try to help black people. And they were going through his proposal and the things that he was writing with a fine tooth comb. And the first thing that they were saying, well, there's nothing for black women in here. And he was like, it's about black people. You're included in that. Why do you have to have something separate for black women when this is for black people? Us as a community, well, we think it should be something in there for black women. And they were just giving Ice Cube a hard time. And then finally he was like, yo, I kept asking for people to help me. I begged for people to help me. Ain't nobody want to help me. So now I got to do what I got to do. And now that I'm doing it, y'all got something to say about it. A lot of people in our community these days are all talk and no action. Faith without works is dead, right? Ice Cube is actually putting in the work. But then they want to tear down this brother for not putting something specifically. And that's what they kept saying, specifically for black women. But again, you're included in black people. So you're absolutely right. We need to figure out what this disconnect is to try to get us together, because the marriage rate in the black community is poor. And if we're not careful, we're not going to have any replacement for the future. L. Nixon says, it just hurts my heart because the women in my family have helped me to be the man I am today. How could I not have love for the woman who look exactly, as long as respect is there? And we're about to get into it. I think that's a perfect segue to get into the divestors. So, y'all, a little while ago, we were talking about a clip, and I think the ladies and I were talking about it backstage. There's a content creator out there named Cynthia G, and a while back she said that black women need to stop birthing black male children because black males are a detriment to the world and we're dusty. So I think that a lot of trauma that's coming to black men that we're seeing comes from the mothers that have something against black men. Because think about the amount of single mothers that have sons that are constantly talking about black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. Black men ain't this. And they're sitting there wondering, why does my mother hate me? I must not be worth anything because black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. I'm not worth anything. All I'm gonna be is this. Oh, you sitting up there looking just like your stupid daddy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would be surprised to find out the amount of trauma that a lot of black men are going through. And I was talking to somebody just yesterday, and I remember something so vividly from years ago, and I'm not gonna go 100% into it, but this guy was literally pouring out his heart to me yesterday, and he said that he had a problem with his confidence. He knows what he can do, but every time he goes to do it, it's something about his confidence, and it's because it comes from the way his mother talked to him when he was young. And this guy is knocking on 40. And he's been dealing with this all of his life. And y'all would be, and you know, this channel was started to kind of center around men, but I'm glad that we have women in this space too, because like you said, we need to come together. So now we have not only men going their own way, but exactly Gabrielle White. There's so many more discussions within this one topic. So I want y'all to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get into it more and more as we continue to build and continue to grow this community. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and let people know what we're doing over here. If you find any value in these conversations, I guarantee you somebody else will find value in it too. So going back to the divestors, these are women who profess themselves to be divesting from black men, and in a lot of cases, the black community as a whole. So I know Alabama Church Girl said that she had heard about divestors. Before I play this video and share my screen, do you have any initial thoughts about divestors?
I feel the same way that I feel about the MGTOW. It's crazy to a certain degree. You know, I understand people's reasonings. You know, we give all kind of great excuses and and reasons, but at the same time, it can be extreme. And like I said before, extremism is not good for the community. And no matter what facet it is, it's just not good for the community.
Absolutely. Antionette, did you have anything? Any initial thoughts about divestors?
Not at all. I'm the same with Val. I just don't understand any of that, because the investment that you have in yourself and your confidence and in a partner is diving on the deep end of the pool. So that's what I think about the divestors. But
okay, I can dig it. And what about you, man?
I think it's just shallow. Just pretty shallow. If you're gonna be with somebody just because of their race or their skin tone or whatever, it's just shallow. Like, you need to really just work on yourself first. I've been on some of the divestment channels, and I usually get kicked off because I'm like, if this is what you're gonna do, and you're gonna go out to white men Why do you spend your why is the whole stream you talking badly about black men? If white men are so good, you should be talking about the benefits of white men, the whole time. But if your whole purpose is going, for going this way is because black men are bad, there's just a problem there. Because I know if I'm with somebody and I don't care what race she is, if you tell me, I'm like, well, what do you like about me? And she's like, well, other races of men just aren't shit, so I'm trying my hand in black men. I'm gonna feel pretty offended. And I'm pretty sure a woman would feel the same way. If I dated one of the ladies on the panel, or any black woman, and she says, well, what do you like about me? Well, I tried my hand in some white women and they weren't shit, so I figured I'd go this way. Come on, it just doesn't make sense. So I think that whole divestment thing, I think it's a Trojan horse. And I wouldn't compare it to the MGTOW thing. I compare it more to the SYSBM guys, or the passport bros, the ones that talk about they gotta go overseas and get a woman and all of that because of this. I think it's just more of just a game of chicken between certain black men and certain black women. It's just a game of chicken. That's it.
Interesting perspectives, and I agree with that. But playing chicken is not working for us. It's not working for us at all. And then I got another point that I want to bring up, but I want to play this video real quick. Oops.
Further know the black community. This is how I also further know the black community is dealing way too much in emotion and not reasoning. I told y'all I was divesting from black men. Gave y'all statistics over multiple videos. Multiple different black women from all different parts of life have all congregated in all those comment sections to concur and add their 2 cents in and their experience. I am too educated. I listen to black women. I have a reasoning brain that I can separate my emotions from. This is why I divest. Black men as a whole are failing. And rather than hold them accountable and force them to succeed at anything other than running their fucking mouth, y'all coddle and condone their failure. Make it make sense. You want unity, but they're not unified. Get them unified.
Alabama church girl, what you got for me?
She's very passionate. I will say that I agree with her that we do have to use our reasoning brain and not just our emotions. But I strongly disagree that it's just black men. All men are failing. And just because you decided to go to a different community, don't mean you're always going to find that perfect man just because he's in a different community. They all have problems, okay? All of them. And 9 times out of 10, if you talk to, excuse me, y'all, the orthodontist has jacking me up down here. But if you talk to women of that community, they will give you their horror stories too. So don't just think that just because, I'm just going to jump over here and it's going to be all great. People put up front in every community. Okay. Okay. You might not have the same problem that you had in your community, but there are some problems. So you have to understand that it's not just black men. It's all men. And we just have to, to use Antionette's term, we have to deep dive to find good men out of whatever bunch or whatever barrel that we're looking in. It's not just because he's a certain complexion. It's not just because he's a certain race no, it's not that. It's not that. It's a character issue. And I do agree with her that we as women have to start holding men accountable. There are some women within every community that will allow men to be as vile and violent against our womanhood as possible and still hold on to them. And those women are not doing us just service. The same way there are some men that will allow women to do them all kind of crazy, talk to them all kind of crazy, and it does not do manhood any just service. So each one needs to hold the other accountable, and it does not matter what race, what complexion the person is.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Antoinette, what do you think?
So first off, she started. The bonnet is what got me, and then starting off with the chapstick and all that. Now, me and Val, we make sure we cute and all, okay. But the thing, I was just watching the mannerisms of it, and what we touched on after the chapstick was the yelling because of the passion, but it was the yelling, right? So, do you act that ignorant toward Black men with that exact energy and that passion? Because then with your white man, then are you so sweet, calm, cool, and collective? So let's really talk about it, okay? Is it because we're under this same umbrella of, yeah, I have to be that strong, independent, twerk my neck, be ignorant, yelling to this Black man because he's the bottom of the totem pole, and the only way for me to communicate to him is through this attitude. And then because my white zaddy or whatever he is, because we're up to the top of the echelon in the Excalibur, that I have to be dainty. So when she said we have to force you all to succeed, and when I'm saying you all, I'm talking about Black men to succeed, that was another sucker punch that I just can't accept, because I am all about, Black love, Black families, Black men's, Black unity, etc. And I just find that it is disturbing, again, that I don't have to force a man to do anything. What I have to do is push and be a force to be reckoned with when I have my man and we be a force together, like I've said before. Now, if it's a part of uplifting our Black men and the man that we are with, then yes, okay, everybody has their downfall, but that does not mean that I'm going to continue to tear you down. Again, this is all about effective communication. This is all about your confidence in yourself, because she was clearly dealing with some type of hurt and some type of experience that made her feel as passionate as she is in the education that she has. Her experiences are her experiences. Like we said, I'm not taking advice from nobody, because that's what she went through. Let her experience that, and then you could share everything. But if she pours her glass of milk, it ain't gonna be all white. It's not clean. Something in her milk ain't clean. Something in my milk ain't clean. Something in everybody else's milk ain't clean. But at the end of the day, it's not for me to tear the community in which I come from and that I create, to tear down all the time. And we're talking about accountability. Okay, bump accountability. Do what's right. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. If it don't sit right with you, that's called that intuition. For those that are religious, that's called that Holy Spirit. For those of us from other cultures, that's just called your ancestors, whatever. Go with what is comfortable for you, but do not tear down the village and the community and the lineage in which you come from. If you had a bad experience, say that. And say that I'm dipping my toe in my little Latino's mouth. That's what I'm gonna do. And I love it because it's hot and spicy. Say that. But don't tear down that of which you come from, because that's what is so, it's just annoying to me when I see that. I just get annoyed, and that I have to hear that we have to force our Black men to do so. I don't have to force him to do anything but be the great chocolate man that he is. And I am here to provide this chocolate milk so that way we could make such a great bond.
I can dig that. Yeah. Okay. And what about you, man? What do you think?
Now, this is something that I primarily just like it out in real life. I don't see, like, I didn't know what the term divestment or anything meant like that meant until I came on YouTube, and then of course on Twitter and saw stuff like that on the internet. Like, and the same reason why you hear somebody like her talking about that she's divesting is the same reason why you hear these dudes talking about they want to go overseas and get their wives and stuff like that. Like, you can see the video and you can tell that this person does not have the options that she would want to have. And a lot of these dudes are in the same situation. So instead of just looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, this is what I don't like about myself, going to a therapist and just like Antionette just said, you know, seeing exactly what's your issue. Maybe you had something's broken down with the way that you communicate. Your listening skills are jacked up. You don't really don't listen. You just wait to talk. You know, when you see a man, your first response is to, you know, emasculate rather than compliment. You know, are you going to be a good woman to this man, or do you want to remind him that he's beneath you? That's one of the reasons why. I mean, that's just my opinion from what I see. That's why somebody like that would say that. So more than likely, when she says she's got issues with people coming in her DMs, they're probably just telling her, like, look, you don't have the option that you think you have. If your feelings are hurt now, when you go and exhaust that other option, your feelings are going to be even more hurt. And if you want to know why, somebody probably just told her to look at herself. Like, look at yourself. And it's not even just it's not even just your build. It's not even just your face. It's your attitude. Like, we can feel your energy too. You know. There are plenty of people that would be, you know, deemed unattractive by some people, but they don't have a problem finding a man or a woman because they don't bring that energy. But when you bring that energy, it doesn't matter whether you're with a white man, a black man, whatever. They're not going to want to deal with you.
Absolutely. And one thing that black men have had an issue with is the attitudes like what she was displaying, right? But I bet she doesn't act like that when she goes to work. And that's the problem. A lot of men are saying, hey, you can act right at work. I need you to act right when you get home. Why is it that you can act right for them, but you can't act right for me? Like Gabrielle said, accountability. And y'all, actually, accountability was going to be our second topic for tonight. But apparently we ain't going to get into it, so we'll carry that one over around to next week. But we got somebody else in the building. I want to bring up my man, L. Nixon.
What's going on?
Nixon.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? It's good to have you here.
What's
going on, Ed? Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, I was driving earlier, so I couldn't. That's why I was just commenting.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing the stream. So what do you got for us? What do you think? What you got on topics?
I mean, it's some of the stuff I laugh at because, I mean, 22 years in the military, I hear people talk about traveling overseas. I hear people talk about interracial relationships. In my 22 years, I did physical security. So I was a military cop for 2.5 years. And the worst things that I saw as far as like divorce and stuff like that, the craziest stuff didn't happen. It wasn't from black people. It wasn't from black people, believe it or not. So you want to talk about the attitudes and you want to talk about the crazy stuff in the relationship. It wasn't from black people. So when I hear people say all this stuff, I'm like, listen, if the guys want to go over to the other side, you know, it's a lot of stuff over there that I've seen. If the ladies want to go over to the other side, hey, I got a friend named Matt. He's a white guy. You can date him. I guarantee you'll be back. I mean, men are men at the end of the day. We have our cultural differences, but at the same time, they have issues over there, and I'm pretty sure, like, you know, some of the ladies over there are trying to get rid of some of that men too.
And L. Nixon, you know, this is one thing that I've actually been learning this week. We talk about the black community because that's who we are, that's where we are. But, you know, they touched on it earlier. This is something that's going on across all communities. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that it seems to be a little bit worse in the black community because we were looking at a study from Time that said that Black women are 62% more likely to be single than any other sector. I believe the marriage rate now in the Black community is around 20%. I think the next highest is 30 to 40%. So I think that a lot of what we're seeing and what we're dealing with can be avoided if Black men and Black women would learn how to work with each other and get together and stay together. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that? What do you think about the lack of two parent households and Black people coming together? What do you think about that?
Well, whether it's the divestment or whether it's the men going their own way, whatever group you're talking about. A lot of times we talk about the statistics, right? And we talk about the collective, right? And we keep talking about this. There's only 5 of us on this panel. So as far as the collective, I don't think everybody on this panel would go out and try to date the whole collective. So I'm only concerned about what I can do, right? So if I'm working on being a outlier, why do I care about your stats? If I do what it takes to get what I got to get, I'm going to get what I got to get. I can care about you. I'm not dating y'all. So we can talk about who's not getting what. In the military, we used to always look around and look at our peers, see where they stood as far as your evaluation, right? What does it take for me to advance? If I'm looking at my peers and the things that my peers are not doing, I need to do those things to advance. It's the same thing within relationships or whatever. If you're walking around saying a whole bunch of stuff of what you won't do, then you'll be in that group who won't have. It's just that simple.
Yo, let me wait. Where my banner at, y'all? Wait a minute. There it is. There it is. Big bars, and that's where a lot of, at least speaking from the men's perspective, we were talking earlier about how hard it is for men to find a lady that will simply be nice to them, and when we find that, we go hard for that, right? So a lot of men, including myself, have gotten to the point to where, hey, if you want to do that, you go right ahead. I don't have to deal with it, But then you have a lot of Black women asking, why are they alone? Why aren't they getting picked? But then they want to talk bad about the quote unquote pick me chicks, the ones that want to work with a man, the ones that want to be in a relationship and have a family. It seems like that marriage is being talked on. If you're a woman that wants to work with the man and get with somebody, it seems like it's looked at as being weak, right? And I think that's where the term "pick me" came from, rather, because let's just be honest. The word submission these days is almost like a nails on the chalkboard, right? When you start, why would I submit to a man? I got this, I got that, and it's hard, and that's why I don't really believe in 50-50 relationships, right? 50-50, if that works for you, that's fine. That's not me over here, because I was raised to be a provider, right? And look, y'all, literally, I am not kidding. I had a lady tell me, and this was the end of me dealing with her. She literally told me that I'm not going to show you the same amount of respect if I'm bringing what you're bringing to the table. If you are making more money and paying all the bills, oh yeah, whatever. But 50-50, no, you don't get the same level of respect. And I can agree with that to a certain extent, because if you're in a 50-50 relationship or a 50-50 situation, it's going to be hard for you to expect that woman to come in and cook and clean and do all that stuff after working an 8 to 10 hour shift, right? But they wanted to be equal.
I gotta push back on that.
Push back.
Push back.
Because Bringing the same level of respect is different from bringing the same level of attention. I thank God my dude pays the bills, but I work just like he works. You know, um, I respect him. I just can't give him the same amount of attention as if I was a housewife. You know, I I can't because I work. You understand? But I can still give him the utmost respect because I appreciate him. You know, I appreciate what he does for the family. I appreciate the provider that he is. I appreciate the protector he is. I appreciate him going above and beyond to make me feel like the most feminine woman that I am. I appreciate that. So I can give him the utmost respect. I just can't give him the utmost attention.
Mhm.
I mean, I have to order out like I'm ordering right now. I have to order out more than I cook. You know, I might have to hire somebody to come in here to clean the house when I'm not here. You know what I mean? So he doesn't get the same level of hands-on attention, but he can get the respect. Respect is a character thing. It's
Mm.
it's not a financial given.
And see that's the thing though. See, again, these ladies on the panel, L. Nixon, they on a different they in a different group of women. You know what I'm saying? They not with this group of women over here, the low vibrational women. And I don't think that any other women in the chat are over here in this area. All of these ladies over here. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. You are absolutely right. It is a difference between attention and respect. But for that lady and for so many other ladies, it was a respect thing because that before she got kicked to the curb, she said, "Well, because I'm doing just as much as you're doing. If I come in one day and say we need to move, you should drop what you're doing and get on board." I was like, "Oh no, we're not doing that over here." Oh well,
But
if
JD,
you
that's
make the money and pay all the bills, then oh well, then we do whatever. I can be feminine, I can be nice, but see that's that conditional femininity that we always talk about, right? But y'all would look at me crazy if I had conditional masculinity.
Yeah, speak on that.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all would look at me totally crazy, look at me with the side eye and call me everything but a child of God, right? If I came in here and said, "Ooh, I'll be masculine, but you're gonna have to show your femininity first before I can be masculine. I got to turn up my femininity and turn my masculinity down until you prove that you deserve it." That sounds crazy. And that's the same thing with it was I can't remember where I saw it, but the lady was saying that you don't give wifely benefits to a boyfriend, and not just talking about the physical and being intimate, but just something as simple as fixing that man a plate. But you expect him to be masculine all the time. You expect him to be a provider and help you with your bills and come in and help you do whatever it is that you got going on. But that man can't even ask you to fix a plate on Thanksgiving.
Now, JD, I have been guilty of saying that I can't give a wife to a boyfriend.
Well,
Yes, I have been guilty of saying I can't give a wife to a fiance. I got to give a wife to a husband. So, you know, me and my dude, we've been together for some years, almost 4 years now. We were living together for 3 years prior to us getting married. So you know, I always had to tell him there are some things that I'm reserving for my husband,
mm,
just so he understood that you are getting the level of the relationship. Now, once we
but
said
did
those,
you fix him a plate though?
yes, I would fix the plate. That's
Okay
simple.
then. Okay, cool.
but
Hmm.
but now, once we said those I do's, although like I just said, we've been living together forever.
Mm.
Once we said those I do's, I turned it way up so he understood. This is what a husband gets.
But
You
that,
have
but that
just
would,
hit the jackpot, sir.
but
That's
that
that
would
old
mean
sales tactic where it's like, oh wait, and there's more.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta buy now. Yeah. Go ahead. My
That would
bad.
mean he would have to have faith. Like like I have to show up already showing husband qualities, but I have to have
No,
faith that
no, no,
you're
no.
gonna actually do something that I haven't seen yet.
Mhm.
So that's like an investment. It's like you asking us to invest in something that we're not even going to see up front. So it's like I'll pay for it now and I'll get the rest later.
I mean, he's getting
No,
everything
but
now, and
see,
then she's like, and I got more for you, but hey, I'm reserving
Now
that for my husband.
but
now
no,
I get full with that.
no. Nixon,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Nixon.
What's up?
I presume he reserved some things for me too.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, he stepped his game up as well.
Okay. All right. See, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Yeah. 'Cause
Reciprocity. I'm with that.
now I'm getting fluid out and all that goodness.
Yeah, look, you ain't really got to go all into it with the extra words, but as long as y'all giving back, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely a good thing. I want to highlight this comment on the screen from Gabrielle. She says, "My honor and respect doesn't rely on income. I never understand equating the two. There are other ways a man provides besides income." Y'all, I wish I had a stream deck. I'm gonna get one. Maybe Santa Claus will bring me one for Christmas. What y'all think? Y'all think I can? Anyway, y'all, this is the kind of respect that men are looking for. Again, the ladies on the panel, the ladies in the chat, they're over here in a different category. But a lot of men will agree with me when I say that they're looked at as a wallet first. Oh, if you can't pay my bills, what do I need you for? I'm paying my bills already. It's to lighten the load, right? You're paying 100% of the bills right now by yourself. If you get with a man, work with a man, then you got some of that load taken off of you, right? Even if it's just 50% of it. But can you get with somebody and go 50% and still respect them as a man, still respect them as a leader? Even if they're not able to pay all of the bills, because let's just be honest. A lot of people are struggling in 2021. This pandemic hit a lot of people hard, and a lot of people aren't doing as well as they lead others to believe that they're doing. So, before we get ready to get out of here, pressure is meant for shoulders and not hips.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? If a man is willing to come in and be that protector, that provider, that leader, then you should absolutely respect him as such. And then the man is your responsibility to honor that lady that you're working with too. It goes both ways. You got to respect her too. And with the man being a protector, it's not just physical. It's not just when you hear a bump in the night and he go take care of that. You have to protect her feelings and her emotions as well. And just like we say, a lot of people in our community need therapy because they're going through trauma and can't have a healthy, functioning relationship because they don't know how to deal with past traumas. But y'all, listen, the time is far spent. We didn't even get to the second topic tonight, but it's all good. L. Nixon, you came in on the tail end, but you, L. Nixon, and Ant, y'all can come back anytime. And anybody else is still in the comment section, look, y'all can come up and we'll talk too. I'll drop the link. Y'all feel free to come up and we'll talk about it. But we're going to have another great show lined up for y'all next week. Okay. We'll be back same time, same place, another great topics. We'll post, and y'all, we have a Facebook group. For those that are new, that don't know, we have a Facebook group. The link is in the description. Y'all can follow Alabama Church Girl on IG. Her IG is in the description. Antionette's IG is in the description. My IG is in the description. And we thank y'all so much for joining us. Powerful discussion. Thank you to everyone on the stage. Very insightful shares from each of you. Thank you so much, Ms. Gabrielle White, for joining us or for helping us promote the channel. Does anybody have any last thoughts? We'll start with the ladies. Alabama Church Girl, any last thoughts before we wrap up?
I have definitely enjoyed the discussion this evening. I've also greatly enjoyed the male guest tonight. We don't normally have the majority men, so this has been
Right.
a pleasant surprise tonight. I've enjoyed. I hope that you will come back again.
We'll be back.
Antoinette is on you.
I, like Val said, I really enjoyed hearing additional input from the male side. And hopefully we can do this again. I'm loving the build of the community. Thank you, JD, for again allowing us into your realm in this platform. Again, y'all remember, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.
All right. Ant, you got any last words?
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me up, man. I appreciate it. It was a great discussion. Very insightful. I appreciate all of the input from the ladies. You, always, L. Nixon, man. Appreciate it. I did just want to say one thing before we go, because you brought up 50-50. I personally, I don't believe in 50-50 either. I believe in 100-100. Everybody brings 100% to the table. That's it. And then when two people combine, you should be able to get 200% out of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a union's supposed to be. And until men can carry a baby for 4.5 months, you're not going to get 50-50 anyway. So, yeah, go ahead.
There you go. That's what's up, man. I can dig it. L. Nixon, come on with your last thoughts, man.
Look, that's why I sent him the link.
That's what's up.
Yes, it's always good. I tell people all the time, we can have these discussions. You just have to have grown people to have them with. You know what I'm saying? As long as there's respect, we can agree to disagree, but we're here to learn. It's always an opportunity to learn from each other. And as far as relationships, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Once you become one, that's what it is. You are a reflection of each other. So if you hurt that person, you're hurting yourself. And more people need to look at relationships like that. It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint at heart. Relationships are hard work. It's nothing to play with. So if you're 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door, or you have unresolved issues, then don't do it. It's real out here, and people don't have time to waste. But I appreciate y'all having us here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, y'all, we got another one in the books. I thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video. I want y'all to share this with y'all's people. Let them know what we're doing over here, because the conversation is going to continue to get deep. And not only is the conversation is going to continue to get deep, but we also want to try to come up with some solutions, right? To share with other people, to try to see more two-parent households in our communities, to see more Black families together, because at the end of the day, y'all, we're better together. We're better together than we are apart. So thank y'all so much for joining us. It's your boy JD, aka Mr. December. Until next time, y'all.